Nomi Dabota is a Force-sensitive human female who at some point in her life meets a young Jedi, Andor, and they begin a relationship, which culminates in a marriage, and as tradition dictates, she would take her husband's name, being now Nomi Sunrider. Thanks to her husband's Jedi life, Nomi and Andor decide to move to the planet Krath, where Andor had received an invitation from Master Chama to be his apprentice and expand his knowledge of the Force. During their time on the planet, the Sunrider family expanded. Nomi and Andor's daughter, Vima Sunrider, was born. She was a girl with enormous potential in the Force, since both of her parents were sensitive to it. Andor's insistence on Nomi to begin her training on the Jedi path didn't excite her at all. In her words, Nomi was too shy to be able to play a role as a Jedi. In addition, Nomi had already experienced the consequences of a life dedicated to the Jedi Order with her husband Andor. Even though love dominated the Sunrider family home, Nomi felt lonely. When someone is a Jedi, no matter the time, place, or current situation, the Jedi must answer the call of duty. There were countless times where Nomi saw her husband's ship leave, and for months she waited in her home with Vima for the moment when her husband would arrive safely. These moments of uncertainty were the most difficult times for her, since she had no news from her husband, and there were moments where her mind played against her, thinking the worst. However, when Andor returned home, the loneliness and fear faded. Around the year 4000 before Battle of Yavin, Nomi Sunrider's life would have a radical change. On the planet Krath, Andor was being trained by Master Chama, but after a time as his apprentice, Chama told Andor that he might not be able to continue training him in the Force, so he gave him a box of Ategan crystals and instructed him to go in search of Master Thon and be his new apprentice. After having left the war Krath behind, the Sunrider family decides to make a previous stop at a spaceport located near the Stena system, a place full of pirates and criminals due to its proximity to the mining worlds and the possibility of docking somewhere and being able to take loot. Upon arriving at the spaceport, the cargo of Ategan crystals that Jedi Andor possesses draws the attention of Voga the Hutt, a crime lord who orders mercenaries to steal the crystals due to their high market value. A Jedi is a physically powerful individual. He can prevent danger. However, training is what makes a Jedi develop all his abilities, and Andor's training was incomplete. One of the Hutt's henchmen approaches Andor from behind, and with the help of a poisonous reptilian creature, bites Andor's neck, ending his life. For Nomi, her world collapsed when she saw the body of her husband on the ground. Mourning Andor's death, before leaving for the other side, he has a last message for her. Andor asks Nomi to take the Ategan crystals and go in search of Master Thon to begin her Jedi training and to always defend his daughter Vima. Andor's words echoed in Nomi's mind, and as if she were in trance, she takes Andor's lightsaber, killing several mercenaries. Escaping to her ship, Nomi would honor the memory of her husband by obeying his last request. From the first moment Nomi took Andor's lightsaber, something awakened in her. The opening towards the Jedi path and her training was initiated. So aimlessly, Nomi aboard her ship lets the Force guide her to the world where Master Thon is located. Although Nomi's mind wasn't completely in sync with the Force, in a reciprocated manner, Master Thon's distant presence in the system would be a guiding beacon for Nomi in the midst of the space. In the Stena system, Nomi arrives on the planet Embryo. Nomi's current situation was uncertain. She didn't know what to expect in this new world. She had nothing left but to trust in the Force. The reason for her presence in the planet was only to honor Andor's memory. She didn't understand why the Force could have abandoned a kind man. Upon arriving in Embryo, Nomi and her daughter headed towards the unknown. Embria had unique characteristics. The environment seemed strange to Nomi. Intimidation and terror could be felt. However, hope could also be perceived. In her search for Master Thon, Nomi experienced something unusual. As she passed by a lake, some voices spoke to her, threatening voices that warned of imminent dangers ahead and that she must return from where she came from. However, among those voices, a friendly voice pushed her forward. After walking for a while, Nomi came across a small house and an individual riding a creature. From the first moment, Nomi knew that this individual was a Jedi, and he invited her to enter his home. Inside the place, Nomi Sunrider told everything she had experienced to the Jedi, the misfortune of her Jedi husband, and her confrontation with mercenaries. But before she could finish her story, the Jedi perceived a threat outside the home. Boga the Hutt and his group of mercenaries had followed Nomi to Embria, finding the home of the Jedi. The Jedi confronts the Hutt's allies with his lightsaber. At the moment when he seems to have control of the situation, the Jedi makes a mistake, ending up on the ground surrounded by the pirates. Before they end the Jedi's life, the creature that accompanied the Jedi leaves the home and attacks the pirates by ramming them, and Nomi can also observe that the beast uses a kind of force field. Thanks to the intervention of the creature, Boga the Hutt and his pirates retreat from the place. The Jedi rejoins and introduces himself to Nomi as Oswillum. Sunrider is surprised to hear this, since she was looking for Master Thon. However, the surprise would be even more when she sees that Oswillum refers to the creature as Master, thus Nomi meeting Master Thon, male Chukta Jedi Master. The Chuktais, also called worlds, were sapient quadrupeds with bristly fur on their shoulders and back. With natural armor, plating covered their heads, joints, and vital organs. The Force had big plans for Nomi Sunrider, and upon her arrival to Embria and under the tutelage of Master Thon, her abilities with the Force would be unimaginable. However, the beginning of her training was a little confusing for her. For months, Master Thon ignored Nomi. He didn't talk to her, and Nomi didn't know what she had to do. Although this was an initial part of the training, Thon knew that Nomi's heart was still in pain, sadness, and anger for what happened to her husband. Additionally, Nomi's lack of conviction to fully embrace her Jedi training was something Nomi needed to heal. Master Thon was aware that great events were being prepared in the galaxy, and that Nomi would be an essential part of those conflicts, becoming a great Jedi that she would be remembered for many years. The importance of Nomi's role in galactic history was already written, so what had to be done was for Nomi to wake up and realize her potential. Some things cannot be taught directly. Some things each individual must find for themselves. If they were shown directly, they wouldn't be understood. Jedi must be willing to look into their own hearts and spirits. It was one of the days after her arrival in Embria that Nomi was still waiting for the teachings of Master Thon that her daughter Vima came too close to the lake, the same lake that Nomi passed when she arrived to the planet and that she heard voices. Predators waited patiently in the lake in search of their food. Seeing that her daughter Vima was being stalked by the creatures, panic gripped Nomi. Fortunately for the little girl, her mother possesses a unique ability that she gained innately, an ability in the Force that even many Jedi Masters take years to understand or never achieve at all: the Jedi Battle Meditation. This skill, applied on the battlefield, allows a Jedi to give a boost of morality and inspiration to allied troops, encouraging them to give their maximum capacity even in the moments where all seems lost. At the same time, it also has the opposite effect on opponents as it cows the enemy. In this particular case, Nomi used it as an ability that influenced the decisions and actions of the two creatures and thus caused them to attack each other, saving Vima's life. Overwhelmed by everything that has happened, Sunrider becomes frustrated with everything in general, the death of her husband and her current situation. She blames herself for not having used that ability when the mercenaries attacked her husband. After this, Master Thon puts an end to the woman's purification and formalizes Nomi Sunrider's Jedi training. Sometime later, she has a talk with Oswellum, where the Jedi comments that she must have faith and understand the entire methodology of the Master Thon. In addition, he tells that a conflict is developing in another part of the galaxy, on the planet Onderon. Oswellum will go to provide aid to Master Archegeth and his 3 apprentices, Deneba, Cay, and Ulic Qel-Droma, as dark forces once again threaten the planet. In a moment that Nomi has of introspection with her master, she confesses enormous regret for having ended the life of the pirates who attacked her, where the tragedy of her husband occurred. Thon tries to calm her down and return her to a path of peace. Additionally, Thon tells Sunrider that she should take advantage of the Degan crystals that she brought to him to make her own lightsaber, since that was a very important part of the path of a Jedi. Building a lightsaber is a unique link to the Force. However, she refuses. She would agree to train and become a Jedi, but she would never use a lightsaber, as it brings back memories of Andor and his tragic end. Master Thon invites Nomi and Vima on a walk to get acquainted with the planet Embria. During their journey, they talk about the Force. The Master tries to convince her to use the lightsaber. He mentions that it's not a simple weapon. For a Jedi, the lightsaber is a direct connection with the Force and is a tool that helps focus the user's mind. However, despite all of Thon's attempts, Nomi refuses to wield the lightsaber again. They both stop for a moment to rest, and Thon takes out a Holocron so that Nomi can learn about the origin of the endless fight between Jedi and the dark side. Through the Holocron, everyone concludes about an imminent threat that is about to arise. The Holocron Gatekeeper confirms that there is an upcoming war that will put the galaxy in danger, and reaffirms Nomi Sunrider's fundamental role in the fight against evil. Confirming his suspicions about Sunrider's role, Master Thon begins her training, offering a lightsaber, as her potential is enormous and she needs to be well trained for future threats to come. At the moment of seeing the lightsaber, too many things happen inside Nomi. Terror, worry, anxiety, hope. The dichotomy overwhelms Sunrider. On the one hand, she has a terrible need to run, escape, and not look back. But on the other hand, Thon's words of hope in her important role against the threat to come resonate in her mind. And just as the Force works in curious ways, the boost Nomi needed would come at that moment. On their journey, Master and Apprentice would be attacked by the pirates in search of the Degan crystals. They had returned with reinforcements. Paralyzed by the situation, Nomi asks Thon to let her go with her daughter. Thon cannot allow that, however, she insists. With no other choice and using his last opportunity, Thon leaves Nomi and Vima in a safe place and goes against the pirates. However, he doesn't fight. On the contrary, he surrenders to them. Sunrider doesn't understand why her master is doing that. She panics when she sees that the pirates were about to take Thon, and it was at that precise moment that Nomi heard the Jedi's call and accepted it. Using her ability, the Jedi Battle Meditation, she influences the pirate by implanting seeds of greed in each of them for the crystals. This causes Boga the Hutt's allies to fight among themselves. When she admires the green blade, Nomi no longer sees her terrible past, but in front of her, she can visualize the heroic trials of the future. She confronts the pirates, and with the help of Master Thon, they end the threat. After answering the call of the Force, Nomi Sunrider, under the tutelage of Master Thon, accepts her role in the galaxy and prepares to face the dark side. After months of training on Embria with Master Thon, Nomi Sunrider is taken to Ossus, one of the most important planets for the Jedi, so that she could continue her training there. Master Budus Yosk-Bass would be the one to continue her Jedi path. Although Nomi has the lightsaber of Andor in her possession, she knows that wielding one of her own is a crucial moment in a Jedi's journey. The lightsaber has great meaning beyond the need for a weapon. It's an intricate and personal ritual that requires deep concentration, discipline, and connection to the Force. The act of wielding the lightsaber itself is a test of a Jedi's patience, skill, and understanding of the Force. It requires them to navigate the complexities of the design, channeling their focus into making the weapon a reality. This process is believed to deepen the bond with the Force, allowing for a greater understanding of its mysteries. Nomi Sunrider would be instructed by Master Budus Yosk-Bass how to build her lightsaber. Andor Sunrider was the person who started this adventure that she is living. From the beginning, Andor's intentions to find Master Thon and give him the Dagon crystals as a gift meant a decision that would forever change the lives of his wife and daughter. Thanks to this, Nomi would accept the Jedi path, and symbolically, she would take one of her crystals to use as the heart of her new lightsaber, the beginning of a new life. Holding a lightsaber produced Nomi a combination of negative feelings linked to the death of her husband, causing a negative anchoring in the lightsaber. However, since she accepted her Jedi path, she began to understand many more things. Nomi took the cold metal of the hilt and activated her new acquisition. She understood everything. It was the last piece of the puzzle that she needed not only accept, but also understand and hear the call that the Force had for her. The first test for Nomi would not be long in coming. News reached Ossus of a rebellion on the planet Onderon, where a young Jedi named Ulic Qel-Droma was requesting help in ending a rebellion led by dark side practitioners. Many were the volunteers, highlighting a lot of experienced Jedi. However, only 5 were the chosen, and among them, Nomi Sunrider. After arriving on Onderon, Nomi was able to experience for the first time what a real war was like. The Republic had sent aid to Ulic Qel-Droma with a large number of Republic soldiers, including the Republic rocket jumpers. Meanwhile, the Jedi Order had sent them. After landing on the battlefield, the different Jedi showed their unique abilities in the Force. However, Nomi finds it difficult to execute hers, the Jedi battle meditation. Nomi could sense that some kind of energy field was blocking her ability. However, she didn't have time to investigate what was causing this, and Sunrider continued with the objective that the Order had indicated to the 5. Break the siege that the Jedi of Onderon, including Ulic Qel-Droma, have been suffering. The 5 Jedi sent from Ossus fulfilled their duty, but casualties were not uncommon in the ranks of the Jedi, losing a fellow Jedi in the Battle of Onderon. But its main objective was achieved. Ulic Qel-Droma and his companions had been freed. As the battle rages, the energy field that Nomi perceived from the beginning was now attacking her to the point of leaving her unconscious. Walking through the battlefield, Ulic Qel-Droma could see the wounded Jedi on the ground. Ulic approached her to offer help. Nomi detailed what happened about an invisible energy attacking her. With what Sunrider described, Ulic realizes that the aggressor is King Omin, and upon hearing about Sunrider's ability, Ulic offers Nomi to join him to finish off Omin. Ulic's plan was clear. With reinforcements from Ossus, a group of Jedi, commanded by him, broke into the fortress of King Omin, the cause of the war on Onderon, to rescue Master Arkajet, who had been taken by the king. Being more numerous, the Jedi were able to confront Omin's army. However, the King's Sith power was too much for Ulic and Nomi. With bravery, Nomi faced the King's army, and Ulic, with his lightsaber, cut the armor that supported Omin's body, causing the King's body to collapse into an amorphous mass. The remains of Omin were on the ground, surrounded by Ulic Qel-Droma, Nomi Sunrider, and the other Jedi companions. The end of King Omin had come. But despite defeating the leader of the rebellion, Nomi would witness the appearance of the true cause of the war. The spirit of freedom Nadd materializes in front of the Jedi. Nadd refuses to help a dying Omin after his complete failure. In addressing the Jedi, Nadd points out that for them, Onderon is a victory. However, he visualizes that one of the Jedi belongs to the dark side, and that the Jedi Order had lost. After this, Nadd disappears. With the defeat of King Omin and the extinction of the rebellion, the Republic restored order to the planet Onderon. Under the supervision of Master Arca and Ulic, a purge was carried out to eradicate the lingering dark side influences that had taken root in Onderon. The remains of Freedom Nadd, Amanoa, and the recently defeated King Omin were recovered and transported to a specially constructed tomb on Onderon's moon, Dexon. The confusion among the Jedi was palpable. Freedom Nadd's statements about the defeat of the Jedi worried everyone. Arca explained that Nadd's possible threat came from ancient Sith prophecies predicting the return of the Dark Lords, stories emphasized even in Jedi holocrons. However, Arca maintained hope for a better future and advised the Jedi to cling to the light side of the Force as their staunch ally. He stated that where light prevails, darkness cannot find support, a wisdom they would have to embrace in the face of looming threats. One year after the Freedom Nadd Uprising, Nomi Sunrider and her fellow Jedi enjoyed the peace that has come to Onderon. However, the threat of the dark side had never gone away, only been postponed. Krath is a cult with ties to the dark side founded by two heirs, Cay Qel and Alima Qel. The connection with the Jedi is that it has been known that during the Battle of Onderon in the rebellion of the Naddists, the two of them were seen with Sith sorcerers, and after the end of the battle, nothing was heard from them again, until their appearance taking control of the Empress Zeta system under the banner of Krath. Faced with this threat, Master Arca would decide to send Nomi Sunrider and Ulic Qel-Droma to fight Zeta and Alima to put an end to the Krath cult. After leaving hyperspace and already present in the Empress Zeta system, the Jedi visualized the enemy, the two in command of the Jedi Republic Navy. Qel-Droma ordered the attack on Krath's fleet that was ramming Chorus Major's resistance. Nomi Sunrider's role in Chorus Major's battle against Krath would be vital to the survival of the army. Alima's power linked to the dark side is vast. Together with her cousin Zeta, Krath's conquest of almost all the worlds of the Empress Zeta system has not been by brute force, but by Sith magic, causing hallucinations to the enemies, resulting in fear and leading to defeat. So against the Republic and the Jedi, Alima and Zeta's strategy would be the same that has led them to victory. She uses Sith magic to conjure up legendary space creatures known as the Space Gracers. Terror invades the entire Republic crew. However, Nomi stands as savior since in her days on Onderon, she had been training her Jedi battle meditation with Master Arca. Mastering her ability, Nomi can perceive that the creatures are only illusions and through the Force guides the Republic and the Jedi fleet. The strategy of instilling fear in the Jedi didn't work, so Alima and Zeta, upon seeing that the Krath command shuttle is being attacked, send a mix of fleets of starfighters between real ships and those that are just an illusion. Alima and Zeta's new plan yields positive results, as confusion hits the Republic in the form of attacks by Krath's real starfighters, causing many casualties in the ranks of the Republic and even wounding Ulic Qel-Droma. Ulic's injury is serious. Going to his rescue, Nomi Sunrider removed the sharp object that had impaled Ulic, and it's here that Nomi's past fears return to her. As happened with her husband Andor, Nomi cries for Ulic, blaming herself for not being able to do something about the trap. Clinging to her hope, Nomi tries to encourage Ulic to stay with her. After their defeat in the Emperor's Theta system, the two Jedi attend the planet Deneba for the Conclave, where thousands of Jedi scattered throughout the galaxy will gather. The central topic of the meeting is the strategy to be taken by the Jedi against Krath. In front of thousands of Jedi, Ulic Qel-Droma addresses his companions to lead the reunion. The complaint from different Jedi towards the defeat of Ulic and Nomi is not long in coming. In addition, many of them refuse to let Ulic Qel-Droma be the leader of the Jedi in their coming war against Krath. A war against Krath would last for years and cause the loss of countless Jedi on the battlefield. Ulic, understanding the seriousness of the situation, and with the intention of completely ending the Krath threat, but at the same time protecting all Jedi companions from an imminent bloodbath if a war against Krath becomes official, proposes a particular plan. His idea would be to infiltrate Krath from within, joining the ranks to bring about the downfall from within. However, the danger of this would be that Ulic would have to embrace, but not accept, the dark side in order not to cause suspicion. This suggestion sparked debate among all the Jedi. Many opposed Ulic's plan, including Nomi. Master Arca sternly warned that embracing the dark path would inevitably lead to ruin, as many great Jedi in years past thought just like him, that they could control the temptation of the dark side, yet even the strongest failed. The uproar caused by Ulic's plan would be interrupted by a sound that echoed throughout the Jedi. A sound similar to the scream of a man being eaten alive was carried in the air. Unbeknownst to the Jedi, they were witnessing the rebirth of Exar Kun as he embraced the dark side on the planet Korriban. Secretly orbiting Deneba, a Krath ship begins a surprise attack against the Jedi, sending thousands of light pods to the planet's surface, releasing an army of war droids that attack the distracted Jedi, beginning the Battle of Deneba. Thousands of brave Jedi defend themselves against the threat of the machines, and taking command of the war, Master Arca defends every fellow Jedi he can. A war droid takes one of his apprentices by surprise, Qel-Droma, and he manages to save Ulic's life. However, Master Arca would be one of the casualties in the Battle of Deneba when a war droid attacked him from behind. After the battle and the victory of the Jedi against the machines, Nomi Sunrider approaches Ulic, who is devastated by the death of his master. Despite the doubts of all his companions and even Nomi's warnings, Ulic remains determined in his mission to infiltrate the Krath and cause their fall from within, since the Jedi analyzed that the war droids had been manufactured in the Emperor's Theta system, work of Krath. Although Nomi warns Ulic not to underestimate the corrupting influence of the dark side, Ulic vows to conquer and subjugate the evil power to his will. Understanding the delicate situation that Ulic will face and how close to the dark side he will be, Qel-Droma and Sunrider travel to Ossus to seek advice from great Jedi Masters, both Master Udvanar and Master Odanur. They both offer him information about the Emperor's Theta system and the threat of the dark side. Nomi mentions her concerns about knowing that Ulic will live with the dark side. Supporting what Nomi said, Odanur expresses his concerns to Qel-Droma. However, warnings from Nomi and the two Jedi Masters fail to convince Ulic to abort his mission. With everything he needs, Ulic Qel-Droma gets ready to leave for the Emperor's Theta system. Disguised as a smuggler, Ulic would have to be able to enter Sinagar City and look for the opportunity to delve deeper into the cult. From the first moment they saw each other in Onderon, Ulic and Nomi's connection had grown over time, and various feelings had been generated between them. Fearing that something will happen to Ulic, Nomi offers to help him in some way, as an informant between him and the Order, but Ulic refuses, asking her not to follow him. A goodbye kiss becomes something more. Her husband Andrew was killed. Now Ulic had begun to feel the void in her heart, but she knows that from the moment he sets off in his mission, everything will have changed. Tormented by Ulic's decision, Nomi decides to take action against the bad omen that she senses, and together with Ulic's brother Cay and Todd Donita, they head towards Empress Data System. After arriving in Sinagar, aboard an escape pod, Nomi Sunrider begins her search for Ulic. Sensing a large amount of dark power in the city and not having the ability to contact Qel-Droma through the Force, she decides to reach Ulic the easiest way. Casting aside the stealth, she takes her lightsaber and ignites it, drawing Krath's attention and taking her prisoner. Nomi achieves her goal. She is brought before Ulic, who is accompanied by Krath leaders. However, Nomi senses something strange about him. Unfortunately for her, Cetal orders Ulic to execute his Jedi companion himself to test his loyalty to Krath. However, Qel-Droma, maintaining his role as an infiltrator, refuses to do so at that time, as he decides that the execution would be the next day. After this ruling, Nomi is taken to the dungeons. In her cell, Nomi Sunrider is torn between Ulic's true intentions, as she fears that the dark side has corrupted him. Her solitude is interrupted by Krath guards, who will take her to the execution. Without a weapon, Nomi Sunrider uses her Jedi battle meditation to turn the two guards against each other so Nomi can escape. Leaving the fortress behind, Nomi calls for reinforcements from Cay and Todd. After meeting, the three set off to rescue Ulic. After entering the fortress again, the three Jedi meet Cetal Keto, who was waiting for them. However, taking everyone by surprise, Ulic Qel-Droma appears behind the Krath leader. Consumed by fury, Ulic confronts Keto and ends his life. Surprised by Ulic's new attitude, Nomi and her two Jedi companions beg Qel-Droma to escape with them. However, with a darkness in his gaze, Ulic refuses, and still disturbed with anger, he threatens Nomi, Todd and Cay. The three Jedi sense something strange about Ulic, and before they could do anything, Ulic's fury is unleashed in the form of energy emanating from his body. With no choice, Nomi, accompanied by Cay and Todd, escape from Sinagar without Qel-Droma. Aboard her ship heading to Ossus, Nomi is still overwhelmed by everything she has experienced. It had taken a while for Sunrider to give her heart to Ulic, and now she is shattered by his betrayal and madness. And unfortunately for her, in the end when Ulic attacked him, Nomi could sense something in Qel-Droma's confusion and how it was leading him to his doom. Upon their return to Ossus, Nomi and Cay present a plan to the Jedi Masters with the goal of rescuing Ulic from Sinagar, further driven by Sunrider's conviction that an attack against the Krath in Sinagar was vital. For Nomi, the priority is to facilitate the extraction of Qel-Droma, even if force were necessary. However, despite having a clear objective, she is surprised that the many Jedi Masters have different perspectives, where her own Master Thon is in favor of leaving Ulic to his fate, since according to them, Qel-Droma must pay the price for his decisions. Clearly, in the presence of Ulic's brother and Nomi, who had already developed an emotional bond with Qel-Droma, the final decision was to undertake a mission against Krath with extraction of Ulic. The Jedi Masters approved Sunrider's plan, but warned the two Jedi that in the path of the Force, some things are limited to destiny and others are a person's own conscious decisions, and it's possible that there is nothing evil that is forcing Qel-Droma to act the way he's doing, and Ulic simply made a decision. So the Jedi Masters advised the Jedi that if on their mission Ulic refuses to return to the path of the Jedi, leave Qel-Droma alone and let him answer for his actions and the consequences they generate. After the talk with the Jedi Masters, Sunrider leaves for Sinagar, determined to once again persuade Qel-Droma to return to the light side. Upon her arrival, a group of Jedi launched an air assault, engaging in fierce combat with starfighters against the Krath defenses of the city of Sinagar. Simultaneously, Sunrider, Cay Qel-Droma, and various Jedi lead a ground assault on the barracks where Qel-Droma was located. While Cay and her Jedi companions fight the Krath soldiers, Sunrider attempts to convince Qel-Droma to abandon the dark path and return with them to Ossus. Once again, Qel-Droma rejects her. Nomi could not lose another person thanks to the dark side. Even with the memory of her late husband Andor, Sunrider expresses her love to Ulic and invites him to leave Sinagar to continue their Jedi path together. But again, Ulic rejects the invitation. With the help of Cay, and after understanding that words wouldn't help, they take Ulic by force. However, this attempt fails when the amulet that Ulic possesses unleashes a strange power, repelling both Cay and Nomi. Finally, aware of what the Jedi Masters had previously said, and her realizing that Qel-Droma had become one with the dark side, Sunrider ordered a retreat, invoking the wisdom of the Masters. Or Qel-Droma would return for his own will, or he would not return at all. Saying goodbye, Nomi, on the back of an Onderon creature, flies away, knowing that she tried everything she could to return to Ulic. What Sunrider didn't know was that upon her departure from Sinagar, Ulic's full descent to the dark side would be successful, as he would join forces with a fallen Jedi, Master Budu Sioskba's apprentice, Exar Kun, becoming master and apprentice, and together they will unleash their fury on the Republic and the Jedi, lighting the flames of a war to come. After her failed rescue mission to Ulic Qel-Droma in the city of Sinagar, the emotional blow to Nomi Sunrider was huge. However, she knew that she must continue her duty with the Jedi. In addition to everyone's misfortune, the conflicts began to wreak havoc throughout the galaxy. On the one hand, the Mandalorian Crusades are a set of military campaigns that began in the year 7000 before Battle of Yavin, and after thousands of years, the Mandalorians, led by Mandalore the Indomitable, have continued to cause destruction on each planet they go to conquer. And on the other hand, the conflict between the Republic and Krath. However, something had changed in the last 6 months as the Republic would suffer great defeats, where even superweapon the Dark Reaper would cause the destruction of entire planets with their inhabitants. For Nomi Sunrider and the Jedi, nothing was clear. They hadn't yet been able to connect the different links, and therefore, they didn't know that their enemy, the Krath, had joined forces with the two fallen Jedi, Exar Kun and Ulic Qel-Droma. Nomi Sunrider spent time on Ossus, honing her skills and learning more about Jedi battle meditation, her signature ability. Her hunger for learning takes her inside the Jedi library, and more specifically, to the teachings of one of the most respected Jedi within the Order, and a great exponent of this special ability, Jedi Master Onderon. The Master's lessons are about the Force and the duty of a Jedi. Nomi is honest with him and expresses her concern for the users of the dark side, since in her perspective, if she, as a user of the light side, can use the Jedi battle meditation, which is a very powerful ability, then those individuals who are part of the dark side, and that they are not limited to anything, how powerful they can become. Onderon reassures Nomi that panic should not consume her in difficult times, and reveals a unique use of her ability. The Jedi battle meditation, according to the Jedi Master, can be used to take power away from her opponent, blocking a Force user from the Force itself, and taking away their gift of being able to manipulate it, leaving a person blind in the Force. After this revelation, Nomi Sunrider undertakes a new objective, to study this new technique. The Jedi thanks Master Onderon for his teachings and leaves the Jedi library. However, she would never have thought that this would be the last time she would be able to see the Jedi Master alive, since, right after leaving the library, Exar Kun would challenge Onderon, ending with the Jedi Master's life. After her stay on Ossus, Nomi Sunrider headed for Coruscant following news that a Jedi Knight had attacked Republic shipyards. All the Jedi, led by Master Budu Siosc, planned to convince the Galactic Senate to allow them to deal with these renegade Jedi. However, all Jedi on Coruscant would soon know the identity of the fallen Jedi. Ulic Qel-Droma led a surprise attack against the Republic. The Battle of Coruscant was the scene of an insatiable attack with the forces of Krath and the Mandalorians joining. Ulic had gained the loyalty of Mandalore and planned to use the Mandalorian warrior clans against his enemies. The battle was brutal, with the Jedi holding their ground against the Mandalorians' invaders. Nomi, accompanied by Master Budu and Cay, bravely defended the Republic. However, the great army of Ulic Qel-Droma was too overwhelming. Sunrider and the Jedi were clear that to defend Coruscant, they had to go and take control of the War Room, the heart of Coruscant's defense. Despite their attempts, the Mandalorians continued to overwhelm Nomi and the Jedi, and unfortunately, they had already been informed that Ulic had captured the Republic Command Center. Hoping to save Coruscant, Nomi, Cay, and the other Jedi arrived at the War Room, where they found their former partner and friend Ulic subduing Republic soldiers. Unknown to Ulic, his lover and companion Ali Makito had betrayed him and ordered a withdrawal of all troops. Lacking an army, Nomi Sunrider, together with Master Budu and the power of a group of Jedi, managed to immobilize Ulic with a light side ability, and once captured, managed to hand him over to justice. They declared that Ulic would face trial and be executed for his crimes. Sometime after the capture of Ulic by the Republic, Nomi, along with Ulic's brother Cay, go to the Senate Hall where the trial of Qel-Droma would take place. Nomi was stunned by what her eyes saw. She couldn't believe that Ulic, her great friend and the man she loved, was being punished for having conspired against the Republic and having betrayed his Jedi vows. Also, Nomi could not recognize the current Ulic as he displayed an arrogant and gloomy personality. Ulic defiantly lashes out during his trial against the Republic and the Jedi, pleading his cause to bring back a golden age where the dark side rules the entire galaxy. Ulic's words were the spark that ignited the anger of everyone in the Republic. However, in Cay and Nomi, the only thing they felt was enormous sadness. Ulic's trial came to an abrupt halt when Exar Kun arrived with Mandalore, immobilizing everyone with a Sith spell. Sunrider begged Ulic again to renounce with the dark side, but he threatened to harm Nomi if she interfered. She and other Jedi in Exar Kun's presence watched helplessly as the Dark Lord of the Sith confronted Jedi Master Budu Siosc. Unfortunately for the Jedi Order, Exar Kun would emerge victorious, having ended the life of Master Budu. Subsequently, Exar Kun, Ulic Qel-Droma, and his allies left Coruscant to continue their conquest. The fallen Jedi, over the last few months, had won many battles against the Republic and the Jedi Order, capturing different systems throughout the galaxy and uniting the aspiration of a new golden age of the Sith to many planets. In their plan to revive the Sith Empire, Exar Kun had ordered different Jedi possessed by dark-side spirits to annihilate their own masters, causing a purge of Jedi Masters throughout the galaxy. Nomi, along with her daughter Vima and the Jedi Silver, traveled to the planet Embryo, a nostalgic place full of memories for Nomi, since that was where she accepted her call to the Jedi path. The objective of the trip is to visit Master Thon, to find peace and learn more about the Force. However, they wouldn't count on Oswillum having traveled to Embryo to fulfill his part of the plan in the purge of the Jedi Masters. Joining forces with Krath and the same creatures that Nomi had defeated in the past, they attacked the three Jedi. Nomi used her Jedi battle meditation to confuse and defeat the creatures. Thon and Silver also finished off some of the beasts. Thon, upon stopping Oswillum, confronts his student, confessing his disappointment for having tried to kill him. Krath escaped from the planet while Osweilan was captured by Nomi and Silvar, failing in his mission to end Master Thon's life. However, Thon would be one of the few to suffer that fate, since throughout the galaxy, different apprentices would manage to end the lives of the Jedi Masters, who for years guided them along the path of the Force. What Exar Kun had started against the Master Voodoo, Exar's acolytes had continued, ending the lives of many Jedi Masters. In the halls of the Great Jedi Library on Ossus, a silence fell over the gathered Jedi as whispers of a horrible massacre reached their ears. But there was a bigger problem for the Jedi. There were rumors that Complex 9, a vital jump station, would be attacked by Alima Keto, leader of Krath, so it was vital that the Jedi defend their place. 3 Jedi were sent to investigate the alleged attack on Complex 9, which was located in an unstable 10-star cluster. Upon arriving, they encountered a huge ship commanded by Alima. Starting a battle between the Jedi and Krath, Alima used the ship's Sith weapon to rip out the core of one of the cluster stars. Then she threw the burning core at the Jedi, incinerating them. However, the star triggered a domino effect. The remaining celestial bodies in the cluster succumbed one by one to collapse, causing a cosmic disaster of incalculable scale. Unfortunately for the planet Ossus, it was located in the path of the supernova blast wave. Hundreds of Jedi, including Nomi, who were on Ossus, began to evacuate the planet. While she was escaping, Nomi would witness a critical moment in the war. Sunrider and Cay Qel-Droma were able to notice the presence of Ulic in Ossus, after which his brother, Cay, boards the ship and goes in pursuit. The youngest of the Qel-Droma, hoping that Ulic would return to the light side, calculatedly attempts to knock Ulic off his ship, but Ulic knocks him down first. After seeing Cay's ship crash, Nomi Sunrider ran to where Cay was. However, no matter how fast Nomi had run, she wouldn't have been able to change the fate of Cay Qel-Droma. Nomi could see with her own eyes how the man she had accepted and once loved, Ulic Qel-Droma, overcome by rage, had murdered his own brother in cold blood. Following her encounter with the late Master Oda-Nur, Nomi had dedicated herself to the study and practice of the formidable Force ability known as the Wall of Light, a technique that could strip Force users of their connection to the Force itself. However, nothing could have prepared Nomi for the anguish that filled her being upon witnessing the savage murder of Cay at the hands of Ulic. In that moment of blinding pain and fury, rationality abandoned Sunrider. The training she had mastered now found purpose, unleashing the full power of the Wall of Light upon Ulic. In an instant, the former Jedi found himself separated from the Force itself, a punishment more devastating than any physical pain, which robbed him of the very essence of his being. Ulic was no longer Force sensitive. It was only when Todd Donita interrupted Sunrider's fury, when she realized what had happened. Terror enveloped Nomi. She had condemned Ulic, and Ulic, for his part, could only mourn his final fate, the loss of both his brother and his Jedi abilities. Interrupting the misfortune among the Jedi, Osweilan spoke up and asked Ulic to rejoin the Jedi, no matter how serious his actions may have been. Ulic had the chance to redeem himself and help the Jedi confront Exar Kun. Ulic agreed to lead the Jedi to their final confrontation with his former master by confessing the secret location of Exar, Yavin 4. After their departure from Ossus, Nomi and the other Jedi were able to witness the devastation of Ossus due to the cosmic wave caused by Complex 9. Ossus suffered the ravages of this supernova, being a hard blow for the Jedi since Ossus was a precious repository of knowledge and tradition. Their home, the heart of their entire order, had been reduced and ruined by the insatiable hunger of the dark side. In search of Exar Kun, Nomi Sunrider and the Jedi traveled to Yavin 4. they devised a strategy to end the Dark Lord of the Sith once and for all. Hundreds of Jedi united the Force and formed the Wall of Light so large it could cover the entire moon. However, the consequences of this effort were intensified by Exar Kun himself, since as a last option, within his temple, he had initiated an unprecedented ritual to be able to travel as a free spirit throughout the galaxy, detaching himself from his physical body. This synergy caused unspeakable destruction in the jungles of Yavin 4, transforming the landscape into hell. As Sunrider watched the moon's surface consume, extinguishing all life, she and her horrified Jedi companions could not imagine that anything or anyone could have survived such severe devastation. The obvious destruction of the entire place, including the temple of Exar Kun, was a clear signal to the Jedi of the indisputable end of Exar, ending one of the greatest threats the galaxy has ever seen and putting an end to the Sith War. At the time of leaving Yavin 4, the Jedi knew that they had been the victors of the Sith War, since all of Exar Kun's columns in his war had fallen. There were no traces of the Mandalorians. Ali Makita, Krath, and Exar Kun had been destroyed, and Ulic Qel-Droma had returned to the light side after his redemption. After this, it was time for the Jedi in the Republic to restore peace to the galaxy. 10 years after the Great Sith War, the ravages left by the war had dissipated. Order and peace in the galaxy was a reality. The wounds that the war had left were slowly healing. The Jedi Order was being restructured in part thanks to the help of one of the greatest Jedi, Nomi Sunrider. The location of Ulic Qel-Droma was a mystery even to Nomi, since after having betrayed Exar Kun and being the key piece to the victory of the Republic and the Jedi in the Great Sith War, Ulic would go into exile and wander across the galaxy in search of redemption. During the years after the war, Nomi, with the help of fellow Jedi, would seek to restore the Order, and as time went by, Sunrider would gain more and more respect to the point of reaching the rank of Grand Master. With a great responsibility on her shoulders, Nomi would see the need to call a conclave again to reunite all the Jedi in the galaxy. Such a meeting had not been seen for almost 10 years in the conclave at Deneba. Nomi hoped that this great convocation would bring together the wisdom of all the Jedi and allow for a clear direction of where to take the reconstruction of the New Order. For Nomi, it's important to have the different points of view of all the Jedi, so a lot of knights from all over the galaxy arrive at the Exis station, having the opportunity to reunite with old friends such as Master Thon and Silva. In front of hundreds of Jedi, Nomi addresses to all her colleagues, remembering friends who fell in the Great Sith War and highlighting the new Jedi who have emerged to be part of the Order in recent years. The Grand Master emphasizes that in the way that they should not forget the deaths of the past, she invites them to look to the future, and as long as the Jedi continue to exist, peace will continue in the galaxy. During Nomi's speech, the adventurous personality of her daughter Vima, upon noticing the presence of mining spaceships in the bay of the station, causes her to make the decision to pilot one of them, looking for a little fun. But upon taking command of the ship, Vima's inexperience causes her ship to become trapped in a magnetic loop, being disabled and Vima being forced to eject. Before tragedy once again strikes the Sunrider family, an old friend of Nomi arrives just in time. Tatanira rescues Vima by taking her to her mother. Nomi Sunrider scolds her for her irresponsibility, but all she wanted was to be trained as a Jedi by her mother. But Nomi, being busy with the meeting and rebuilding the Order, tells Vima that it's not currently possible for her to do that, leaving Vima disappointed. Back to the main hall, it would be Silver's turn to speak. Unlike Nomi, Silver's speech takes on shades of resentment and revenge, since during the war and because of Exar Kun and Ulic, she lost her mate Krath, emphasizing that after Exar Kun's death, the greatest shame of the Jedi was Ulic, showing her obvious hatred towards Qel-Droma. Upon hearing the name of Ulic, Nomi is struck by longing and sadness. wondering where Qel-Droma was. Meanwhile, the name of the former Jedi remains echoing in Vima's mind. After having finished the first meetings in the Conclave, Vima asks Nomi to start her training, but fatigue and the overwhelming task entrusted to Nomi makes her refuse Vima's request again. Tired of only hearing denials, Vima sets out to find her own master. After Vima's departure, Nomi is informed that her daughter has disappeared. Finding herself in the spaceship of a little spacer called Hagen. He's a man passionate about the Jedi and the history behind the Order, so his presence in the Great Jedi Convocation is no accident. She asks Hagen for help in finding the former Jedi traitor Ulic Qel-Droma. To give him a reference of what Ulic looks like, Vima pulls out a hologram with Qel-Droma's photo that she stole from Nomi's office. Seeing Ulic's face, Hagen is left speechless since a few days ago he had been hired by a man to help him find a quiet and alone place where he could live. That man had been Ulic, but it seemed he had hidden his true identity from Hagen. Knowing where Ulic was, Hagen takes Vima to the location, a nice planet called Renvar. After Vima's escape, Nomi receives a holographic message from her daughter saying that everything is fine and confessing that she sought her own master from whom to learn to be a Jedi, choosing Ulic Qel-Droma and announcing that he agreed to train her. Nomi was completely taken by surprise upon hearing the name of her former friend, and as she processed that news, a member of her staff tells her that Hagen wants to visit her. Nomi orders a staff member to turn Hagen away. Hagen urgently wanted to speak to someone about the location of Ulic Qel-Droma. Although he helped him, Hagen, being knowledgeable of the history of the Jedi, understands the danger that Ulic was in the past and his terrible actions in the Great Sith War. So, there is a resentment towards Qel-Droma, and he seeks to a Jedi to confront Ulic. Hagen remembers how Silvar in the assembly conveyed in her speech a hatred towards Ulic, so he decides to go talk to her. The news from Vima had left the Grand Master thoughtful. In the solitude of her room, Nomi observes her lightsaber, remembering her past as an apprentice. Nomi believes that she was forced to follow the Jedi path because her husband Andor was murdered. Nomi also regrets not giving Vima the attention and training she needed. She knows that Vima can become a great Jedi. Shortly after, Silvar enters Nomi's room. They have a conversation, and Silvar is surprised to learn that Vima is training as a Jedi with Ulic and questions Nomi why she lets a traitor be her daughter's master. These words resonate with Nomi. Nomi replies that Ulic has good heart and won't hurt Vima. Silvar responds that Ulic is a war criminal responsible for killing even fellow Jedi. Silvar thinks that Nomi is too kind and soft-minded, after which Silvar storms out. After leaving her, the Cathar Jedi meet Hagen and he tells her that he knows where Ulic is. The little man gives Silvar a chance to avenge all the Jedi in the Sith War by confessing the location of Qel-Droma. Feeling guilty that she ignored her daughter's training while serving the Galactic Republic, Nomi leaves on her spaceship to make things right by training Vima herself. Nomi arrives in Renvar on her ship. The Grand Master entered a completely abandoned building, and it was thanks to the connection with the Force that her daughter Vima possessed that she felt the presence of her mother. Ulic turns to see Nomi, her old friend. Face to face, after so many years without seeing each other, Nomi and Ulic meet again. Like more than 10 years ago on the battlefield on Onderon, where they first met, creating a unique connection, years later, that same connection resurfaces. Vima's voice interrupts the moment, stating that she would stay there with Ulic training and becoming a Jedi. Vima vindicates Ulic, telling her mother how much she had learned about the Force thanks to him. She even shows her the monument honoring Naddist Sunrider, father and husband. The moment between mother and daughter is interrupted by a commotion inside the place where Ulic was. Nomi can sense struggle, so she fears for Ulic. On a cliff, Nomi and Vima see how Ulic is having a lightsaber duel with Silvar, but through dialogue, Qel-Droma can heal the conflict between them. Despite the past, Silvar can see Ulic's regret and understands that Qel-Droma was able to forgive himself for his past actions. However, Ulic could not enjoy his redemption, since, in an unexpected move, Hagen, the little spacer man with the intention of avenging all the Jedi, shoots Ulic, ending the life of the redeemed Jedi. Happy for his action, Hagen rejoices that he was the one who ended the life of the worst Dark Jedi criminal in history. Silvar, furious at what Hagen had done, confronts the little man and he runs away. The scene of the attack against Ulic is witnessed by Nomi and Vima, who come to spend the last moments of Qel-Droma's life. Ulic's life was slipping away. The two laser shots that had hit him burned through his tunic and seared his flesh. Nomi Sunrider took Ulic's destroyed body in her arms, while tears ran down her face. With his last efforts, Ulic asked for forgiveness one final time for his past actions. Speaking to Vima, he comforts her with his words. As his very last action, he takes a medallion he had and gives it to Vima. Ulic then addresses Vima, naming her a Jedi. Ulic managed a faint smile, and then his eyes closed forever. To the Sunrider's surprise, a blue glow surrounded Ulic's body as he became one with the Force. Nomi and Vima looked on amazed, not understanding what was happening since only a Jedi Master could achieve such a thing. Although unable to touch the Force, Ulic understood it perfectly, more than most in the galaxy. He had the heart of a Jedi. The Force had never abandoned Ulic, and the Great Jedi's redemption was now complete. Nomi thanks her daughter for what she had done with Ulic. Without the light that Vima transmitted, Qel-Droma would not have been able to see through his own darkness. After Qel-Droma's passing, Sunrider and her daughter went back to the Republic with a renewed dedication to the Force. The years passed, and the legend of Nomi Sunrider only grew. She had risen from the ashes of tragedy to become one of the most powerful and influential Jedi Masters the Order had ever known. Nomi fought tirelessly against the insidious spread of the dark side. Time and time again, her courage and her convictions resisted the darkness that invaded her. The Jedi Order rose from the abyss thanks to her unwavering faith. Her lightsaber was a reflection of her ideology. Despite initially refusing to take it, she understood that the lightsaber was more than a simple weapon. Time granted her wisdom and compassion, becoming a unique leader in the Jedi Order. Nomi's influence, sacrifice, and shining example would burn eternally, taught and emulated by the Jedi after her. The name Nomi Sunrider would echo through centuries, a unique Jedi who would inspire countless Jedi.